Welcome to another edition of The Real. It's your host, BG31 in the building. How's everybody doing tonight? Make sure on your way in, you guys are liking the video. If you can, share the video. Because we got a very special guest in the house today. We got Coach B. How you doing today?
Hi everyone, what's up, Randall? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on and letting everybody know about kids, youth sports, and everything like that. So go ahead and give everybody a little breakdown of who you are, your name, and what you do.
Okay, what's up, everyone? My name is Junie Barahona, aka Coach B. A lot of the girls could never pronounce my last name, so we just shorten it to Coach B. I coach girls basketball. I've been a coach for over 8 years now. And I also have my own sports program called Rebel Nation. The reason why it's Rebel Nation is because we are named after the Lady Rebels, after the UNLV running Rebels out of Las Vegas. And we started small with just the girls program, but we just grew into men's softball, girls softball, volleyball. So instead of just being ladies, now we're just Rebels. So it's Rebel Nation. But I've been a coach for over 8 years now. So there's a lot of things that I know that are out there that parents definitely can benefit from, especially if they want to get their kids started in youth sports.
Nice. Are you the Phil Jackson of basketball?
Oh my God, I'm the Zen master of basketball. I don't have my Michael Jordan yet,
Okay.
but I'm working on it. So yeah, I'm Phil Jackson for sure. That was one of my biggest mentors by far growing up. So yes.
Nice, nice. So to let them know, do you coach year round? You know,
Yes. So my
every
program is year round. Absolutely. We go year round, 4 seasons out of the year. We also do some tournaments every once in a while as well. So yeah, we are pretty much a year-round sports program.
nice, nice. So, and tell us what's the age group of these kids?
So they vary. They vary depending on the season. So currently we have multiple teams. We have actually little 5 and 6 year olds, and they
Uh-huh.
are adorable. They are just starting to learn basketball and the love for the game. We also have a group of fifth and sixth grade girls. Our volleyball program hosts 13, 14, and 15-year-old girls. And then our volleyball girls are 12 and 13, and then we obviously have our men's program and they're adults. I don't handle that side of the program, but I mainly pretty much run more of the basketball. We have a coach for volleyball, we have a coach for softball. I oversee the entire operation, but my coaching expertise comes from basketball.
And this organization as a whole, how long you say you have been doing this organization? Like,
So I've been a coach for about 8 years, and we've had Rebel Nation. I would say this is our third consecutive year where we are currently adding more kids, more programs, um, and more sports to the organization. We want to stay very niche. We don't want to over expand where we take away from the kids.
mhm.
We really want to just focus on development and training, and just keeping that ratio small so that we're able to provide a fuller service rather than just having like a bunch of kids running around. And that's not something that I want my program to be. So we want to just stay very niche, very specific, where we could really just cater to the kids that we have in the program at the time of the season,
and
whatever
this
season
is
we're on.
and this is in Las Vegas, or
No, we are in Texas. So we are in North Texas. I am in. I'm right by the Star where the Cowboys play. Let's go Cowboys! Woo,
Ooh, you
woo, woo!
see the green,
Yeah.
you see the green.
So
It's
let's
Philadelphia
spell
over
our
here,
head.
baby.
I'm in Dallas, Big D, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. But so yeah, no, I'm in Texas. But at the beginning, when I first started my program, and it was the very first time that I was in a particular organization, and they asked for a volunteer. They sent out an email, and I remember it was around Thanksgiving, and I was a little tipsy, and this is like years ago, and I was like, I can coach. I know basketball. Like, oh my God, like how hard can it be? And then one of the requirements was for us to pick a team, a college team. And then I'm from well, I grew up in LA, but I lived in Las Vegas for a long time. So and then I love red and black colors. So we went to after the UNLV Running Rebels, and
Nah.
that's why my program is the Running Rebels. Because of that, and then we just stuck. It just stuck. Everybody knows us or knows me as the Lady Rebels coach, so I could never change the name.
So what was the passion behind this? You know, like I know you said I think I can coach. I'm gonna get out there and do it, but this whole organization thing, like what was it? What was your passion and drive behind doing this? You know, was it the kids? You know, did you just have always had a passion for kids?
I've always had a passion for kids. I've always had a passion for kids. Um, I love basketball. I came to this country when I was very young and I didn't speak any English. And one of the things that saved me from not feeling so left out was that I learned how to play ball. And that
Oh,
kept
you're a
me out of
baller, huh?
trouble. Huh?
You're a baller too. I
I
didn't
you
know that.
can't preach and not like
Ooh,
yes, of course,
I didn't know that.
absolutely, yes.
Were you hooping?
I was hoping, but that was like my biggest inspiration was just like being able to blend in with other kids, make friends, grow out of my shell, just kind of breaking that barrier, that language barrier that I had.
Where were you
So it was
from?
just something
Was it
that I can
Mexico?
relate to my youth. Huh?
Was it Mexico? Were you from Mexico or where are you
No,
from?
I'm from El Salvador.
El
I'm
Salvador.
Salvadorian.
Hey, my
Hmm.
brothers and sisters are El Salvadorian.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
we
I know. I understand
crazy.
that one.
It's true. Salvadorians are crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much where the passion came from. And then I just always loved the sport. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan. I love that you mentioned Phil Jackson, right off the bat, because
hmm
I mean, he's definitely up there in coaching gods.
How many points you score a game?
Oh my God. So to be honest, I am 100% way better coach than I was a player, I would say. So, I'm a better coach. I don't know. I mean, they varied. I played from when I was 12 all the way until high school, and then I played in adult leagues. So, I mean, it's just passion for the game. I love the game. That's like my therapy, you
You like
know?
Reggie Miller?
Uh, Reggie Miller's all right.
He
I
was a
like Steve
goat. He
Kerr.
was a
I like
goat. Don't
Steve
hate on
Kerr a little
Reggie.
better.
You know that's
Yeah.
where the 31 comes from. Don't hate on Reggie. Reggie was a goat. I'm a
No, but
Pacers
Reggie's
fan.
a goat.
Work with me. I'm a
Reggie's
Pacers
a
fan.
goat. Yeah. Reggie's a goat.
Were you good at
I'm more
threes?
like I grew up on Jordan, on Pippen, obviously, and Allen Iverson, Patrick Ewing. I mean, just I grew up in that era. Mason. I mean, it was just Penny Hardaway. I mean, I grew up in the best era of basketball. I think.
Oh yeah, that was some good basketball. I remember when Jordan got pushed by Reggie. We shot that three on him in Game 6.
Oh my
Boom.
God. Well,
You know the Pacers won, and then Jordan
MJ
came back
got
in Game
6 rings. And
7.
how many does Reggie have?
He's in the Hall of Fame.
And so is MJ. I'm just playing. No. Reggie
Okay,
Miller set the bar. Reggie Miller started that 3-point phrase
right? He's
that
the goat.
everybody is
Right?
on now. I
Every,
swear, all the kids, they want to pull up threes. I'm like, drive, drive. No, they want to shoot threes. They could care less if they airball 10 times. They want to pull up threes. So the game has definitely changed for sure.
and it's all because of Steph Curry. But everybody needs to remember Reggie was that first go at the 3-point line.
Reggie, I remember he had what, like 8 3-pointers one time in one
Yeah,
playoff? Yeah. He was a beast. He was a beast. And then Ray Allen came behind him for a while.
yeah.
I grew up
Hey,
on Steve Kerr and BJ Armstrong. And then obviously, Reggie Miller was he was the GOAT of his time until Steph. That's it.
I just
You
posted a
can't think
Steph
of a
video.
three-pointer without thinking about Steph Curry.
I just posted a video on Steph Curry, man. That dude is ridiculous. Like it showed a video. Like I posted a video. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. It shows Steph. He starts out with a layup. He backs up 2 feet, shoots it. They just keep passing the ball too, and he backs up 2 feet, backs
Oh,
up
I saw the same video.
all the way back to the half court line.
He went
He
whoop,
never
whoop,
missed
whoop,
a
whoop,
shot
and
all the
back.
way back and all the way back up. He never missed one shot.
Not
That's
one shot.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I read the greatest statistic. I don't know what. I'm like full of useless information, but I read somewhere that even if he makes the shot like on his practice routines, if it's not a swish, he doesn't count it. So if it hits
What?
like the rim, he's not counting it. It has to be like a straight swoosh for him to count it as a shot made.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's probably why he's so good.
his what do you call it, his dedication to the game is ridiculous. I mean, it's just insane, bar none compared to anybody else. He's completely changed the game forever with everybody. I mean, it's just, I mean, you saw it at the all-star game. The three-point contest was way better than, the actual dunk contest. So
Right.
yeah.
Growing up, who was your favorite women's basketball player?
Oh my God, Arike Ogumbogale. Okay,
Say
I'm
that
not
again.
butchering her name. Arike is Dallas based. She
Mhm.
is a beast. Actually,
Yeah.
shout out to Arike. I think today is her birthday.
And shout out
Um,
to you, Arika. That sounds like a
yeah, she
Puerto
is
Rican name.
amazing. Is it Arika or Arike?
I can't. You got me lying.
Arike Ogumbogale. Ogumbogale. Oh my God. I feel like poor Giannis, how he has to say his name too, right? But I know she's a beast. She's a goat. Um, Candace Parker, I have a lot of respect
Yes,
for
can
her.
bees.
Elena De La Don is phenomenal when she's healthy. I love the WNBA. I go to the
What
games
about
all the
Lisa
time.
Leslie?
Huh? Lisa
Lisa
Leslie is
Leslie.
the go. Oh my gosh, Cheryl
Cheryl Miller.
Swoops.
Reggie
I
Miller's
mean, like
sister.
there is
She
just
was the
Cheryl
GOAT.
Miller. I mean, Lisa Leslie. I mean, all of that. But I would say when I watch Arike, like on the court, she is she's gonna be up there with the rest of those girls. She's already what, she won all-star MVP.
Oh,
She won, I don't think she won MVP, but she won the all-star MVP, and she came out and showed out. And Dallas proud, we're so proud of her, and I think she's amazing. Like what she brings to the game is great, and I think that her style of playing is phenomenal. And as a coach, I always tell my girls to watch the WNBA, to
mhm.
watch, and even college, like the tournament, just for them to see other females play at that level and the competitiveness that goes in those games, and to kind of see themselves in those women, so that they can realize that there is a growth and future out there for them if this is the path that they choose to be in.
Nice, nice. So let's dig a little bit into this now. You know, what is the right program for your kid? You know what I'm saying? Like going into this, you're a parent, you think every school's good, you think every program's good for your kid. You're most times you're just trying to get your kid out the house. You're like, hey, we're putting you in basketball, get out there. Like tell me, some good things, some good programs, and how the parents should go about when they're finding these programs.
That's a really good question. So there's tons of programs out there, and now with on Facebook, it's really easy to get on Facebook and search through your community groups. And a lot of the times, the community groups are really good if you ask questions, and ask, hey, does anybody know of any sports programs out there that my kid can join? That's definitely probably one of the easiest ways. Another way is the YMCA always offers beginner programs for kids. Also, like if you have a rec center in your area or in your home, chances are they offer some sort of skills or development training, or even a league that your kid can play on. Depending on the city of where you live, I happen to live in a really big hub of AAU basketball, and it's very competitive. So here where I live is kind of easy to find a program. But I would say like your smaller programs would probably be like the YMCA. I know that I9 Sports is also a nationwide sports program organization. Um, your the schools, they do like flyers that they send via email. So sometimes when there's programs, organizations that are looking for kids, they'll do email distribution through the school system, and that's a good way to find out as well. And then just going to those local rec centers, and just kind of being more aware of what's out there. The Boys and Girls Club, I'm sure there's tons of independent programs as well. But just really like those community page groups on your Facebooks, those mom pages on your Facebook, those groups. Chances are if you type a question, you're going to get bombarded with all kinds of different information of where you can sign up your kids.
And what would you say will be the type of group that you probably wouldn't want to sign your kids into?
Repeat the question.
Like, what kind of group would you say, you might want to stay away from? Like, when you're finding this process, what really makes, besides, location, what do you think are some, like, red flags for groups that you might not want to put your kids in?
That's a really good question. When they start asking you for money up front, when you start hearing money, cha-ching, and that's all that comes out is payment and all of that, that should really be a red flag. Those type of programs, there's some, and once again, it goes back to depending on where you live.
Mm-hmm.
But just when you do find those groups or the organization that you like, do your homework. Talk to another parent. Go to their Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a practice. Go to one of their games and sit at it. And just don't tell them that you're thinking about joining the program, and just kind of observe so you can kind of see what kind of culture they run or what kind of style the coaching has. The coaches, all coaches have different styles, and not every kid is for every coach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but definitely stay away from trainers that want money up front, trainers that are outrageously priced, programs that are outrageously priced. Um, Ask questions, just kind of follow your gut feeling. I always tell clients as well, what, because I do a lot of consulting where kids will are looking for a program, and
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so niche and very specific, I can't just bring in anybody to mine. So over the last couple of years, I've been able to kind of place kids in different organizations. And what I tell the parents is, go to a couple of practices, go to one and then go to another, and then make a more of an informed decision.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can decide if you feel like that particular coach best fits my kid, or maybe your kid made more connections with one particular group. So there's all kinds of different things that you have to kind of put into perspective when picking the right organization.
Now, how do you feel about those parents that are stronghold? Like, me, I got my boy RKP3. You better be doing your push-ups. You better be doing your sit-ups. You know what I'm saying? Football is real. You're gonna be the next breed of, the next generation of football players for our family, son. Like, how do you go about coaches like that want to see their kids, and to kind of push them a little extra hard at the beginning? Do you think that's a good thing, or do you think that's a bad thing?
I think it's a great thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a great thing. I think that if it comes from the right place, especially from the coach, those kids are going to be motivated and driven to want to go to the next level. I am a parent of athletes. I've been raising athletes for 19 years. My son plays college football out in Fullerton. Just watching his commitment, drive, and dedication is phenomenal. And we push him because we know that he has that ability to stay focused and committed and possibly go to that next level,
Mm-hmm.
So we push them very hard. And then also, I am a parent coach. I no longer coach my daughter for basketball. She actually outgrew me.
Mm-hmm.
She played 2 grades up, and I'm that parent that pushes because I know of her potential, and I want to bring out the best in her. It could be a little bit overbearing at points, but you also have to know when to draw the line and when to keep going. So I feel like uh, it depends also on the level of what that your kid is playing in, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be realistic. Like, if you know for a fact that you have an athlete that is well above and beyond his natural capabilities and can really take it to that next level, then you have to push them a little stronger and find them that proper organization that's going to grow them to the next level. Don't keep them stagnant. Don't keep them with the same group of kids. Move them around, challenge them, make sure that they go to different types of skills and trainings and sessions where they can grow from. So to me, I'm a hard coach. I have very high expectations. I am like Ricky Bobby. Second place is the first loser. Like
Not
we're
first and last.
okay. So I'm like, that's how my style. But I tend to be very hard and very demanding. depending on the grade level that I'm in, and also with the type of players that I currently have on that team. If I know that I'm working with a more of a beginners group or somebody that's more intermediate, then it's a little different style of coaching. And that's also something that you have to see when you join an organization, is that you can't coach a little kid the same way that you coach an older kid. So those coaches need to be nimble and flexible and able to adapt differently to whatever, kids learn different. Some kids are audio, some kids are visual. So you kind of have to like develop those different types of teaching ways that you can coach an athlete.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, what do you do with those parents that are like, my kid's next Kobe Bryant, and you're like, why is he not getting the PT time that he's supposed to get? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do to those parents that think their kid is all world and they're not getting as much playing time as they would like their kids to get?
You know, I'm very blessed with the type of parents that I have had. I will tell you this for sure: parents ruin sports for kids. Okay, they have super high expectations of an athlete that is still learning and developing, and they push their kids so hard to a point that the kids don't even want to play anymore. That's because they're not living up to daddy's expectations of how he or she should be playing. Um, it's so funny you say that. I recently had a girl on my program. She is 5'6", 5'7", and she's in
Mm-hmm.
the fifth grade. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and by far our tallest girl in that particular group. Right, her
Mm-hmm.
dad wants her to be a point guard. I'm like, she's not a point guard.
I
Not
seen it.
here, not today. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and he was so, and like, she would go on fast breaks, and I'm like, outlet, pass, like she would not, because her daddy's in her ear, like, drive it in, play the point guard. And I had to have a conversation with the parent, and I was like, look, first of all, you want to teach all the kids all the positions, because you never know what size they're gonna be. But in
Yeah.
this particular group, she is not a point guard. You know what I'm saying? She's not a point guard, and he wanted her to have the ball more, and he wanted her to, be more of a leader in that particular group. And I can respect that, because parents see size and they automatically feel like, oh my God, my kids got it. But
Mm-hmm.
some kids develop a little different than others. Some develop faster, some don't. Some takes a
Mm-hmm.
little more time and repetition. But him just being very adamant about her being a point guard was like, dude, she is not a point guard right now,
Right. She's my center. Thank you.
He's my center. I did have one game where we played a team that was not as competitive, So I did let her run the ball a couple of times, from the point guard perspective, so that, you know, number one, her parent could be happy, and number two, for them to see she's not a point guard. You know what I'm saying? Not right
Right.
now, you know? So I think that kind of took a little bit, for him to realize that she needs a little bit more, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. But parents are extremely demanding, and they want to get their money's worth. So, and we completely understand it. They do complain about playing time. There is a time and a place for complaining about those things. Um, I had a parent run out in the middle, literally right after the game, to complain that his daughter didn't serve enough. And I'm still like trying to talk to my kids, and,
Yeah.
uh, so there's a time and a place when to speak to the coach. Definitely never after a game, and I think all high school, junior high sports will even tell you that. Give yourself 24 hours before you send that email or before you have that conversation, because in the heat of the moment, parents will say all kinds of things, and with my experience, I have learned to kind of de-escalate the situation. But some can be a little bit more aggressive, and it could just kind of go a little sideways.
Yeah.
And yeah,
That's not
it's
good. That's not.
that.
Keep your
Parents, stop
composure.
ruining sports for kids, please.
Right. Stop ruining the sports for them kids now. Okay. What was my next? I just had a question too, but I was listening to you talk. It was gonna be like, Okay, so now that your kid is that guy, the star player. Actually, before I get into that, what do you do for those kids that are on those teams, that aren't winning? Because there's only so many teams that are dominant. In every league, there's always those teams that they're just there playing. And much love to those guys too. But I'm just saying, like, well, how do you help? How would you say it would be good advice to help those kids out that love to play, but what I'm saying, they don't want you don't want them to actually get the feeling of losing. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't take this as serious as I should because we don't win very many games.
That's a really good question. You win or you learn. It's that simple. You win or you learn. I've gone through seasons where I have won every single game in my league, and I have gone through seasons where I didn't win one, you know? And it's really up to the coach, I think, of where you put your kids at and what level of development or league that they are in.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, because I live in such a big hub of basketball, we tend to play a lot of elite teams. And it could be very discouraging sometimes, Kids are resilient. And I tell them all the time, it's like, if you feel like you did your best, if you feel like you went out there and did everything that you could possibly do within your capabilities, then you can't be mad at them because it's going to translate anyways, and you're going to see that. Um, and I think that at the end of the day, some of those kids are a little bit more motivated to be better more than intimidated. And, especially if they love the game and they have the passion.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tough. It's tough. I think that overall, the kids don't care as much as the parents do. The
Mm-hmm.
kids are more focused on playing and having fun, and if they lost, they shake it off. The
Mm-hmm.
parents, no. And once again, it goes back to parents ruining sports for kids, because you may have a team that you just played that has been playing since they were 5 or 6 years old, and you have a strong core that already has been gelling. They already have that synergy, that connection, that long connection and relationship that you build in sports. And then if you have a new beginner team that is just learning, it's going to be tough against those teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really depends on the league, the organization that you put your kids in. And that's another question that you want to ask the coach when you are signing up your kids. What kind of teams are we going to be playing? What division are they going to be? Is it going to be a breakdown based on grade level or on levels of playing? You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to put a beginner in an elite or an advanced program because they're going to get discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really up to the parent to do that homework. Personally, I like to challenge my kids. So, for instance, we just got off a winter league, and I had fifth graders playing seventh graders.
Nice.
Yeah. And we beat them. At one point we beat one game that we beat them by 2 points, but we won. You know,
Right.
and to me, it was it was great because we played as a unit. We played together. Our defense stepped up, and we knew we were going up against adversity. And we held it together. So to me, is I like to challenge my kids. I don't like to keep them at that same grade level or at that same. I feel like if we give them a little more, they tend to rise to the occasion. And versus this particular league that I was playing, I have my fifth graders playing seventh graders, but then in the other league, you have seventh graders playing fifth graders. How
Right.
would you like that as a parent? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, how do you feel like you're excited about winning? You just beat two grades lower than you. That goes to tell you that parent put
Well, you
their
just
kids
lost two
way
grades lower
below
than you
where they
too.
should be. Exactly. But some parents want to win so bad, or some parents want their kid to develop a little more that they don't look at that. So you see your kid doing all these great things. Well, he should be. They're playing 2 years younger than they should be playing. So it's just there's a lot of politics in sports. You'd be surprised in those sense, especially in the AAU circuit. You have players playing below grade level, all the time. It's just it's a little messy. That's why a lot of egos and a lot of things get involved. That's why it's very important for the parents to do that homework.
Yeah, we had a question for you from Miss Bergen. She said, "Have parents ever actually tried to fight you, fight their kids' coaches?"
Absolutely. Yes, they have. Um, um, Once again, parents ruin sports for kids. That's a whole topic, I think, in itself. For
Hmm.
real. Um, Yes, yes, they have. Yes, they have. I don't want to get into details, but I remember one particular occasion. We had to be, everybody had to be separated. I've been suspended and ejected from games.
Oh,
Um, yes. We recently had something in the news where a parent attacked a referee and the younger kid, a
yeah.
seventh grader. She hit her. She went to jail. Um, it's sports, in any parent or anybody that loves sports, they know they are very emotional. you know they are intense, and depends on the level that you're playing, it's really hard not to hold back those emotions, especially
Mhm.
if you have a parent that's hackling or just really going above and beyond with all their yapping.
Mhm.
So yeah, it does happen, unfortunately, more than people are aware. And my advice to parents is, go enjoy your kid play. Just go watch them play. You know, um, unless it's an AAU or an elite program where there are going to be college recruiters, at that game, or
Mhm.
EBYL or anything like that, then it's a little different. But if you're in a select or a reg or an AAU program, and you're out there, and I had a parent one time on one of my sixth graders.
Mhm.
She shot a 3-pointer, and a parent from the other side is air ball. Like, and I'm like, fat ass motherfucker, like, you get out there, let me see you shoot a 3-pointer. You couldn't even run up and down these lines even if you wanted it to. I'm very protective of my girls, and I don't like that, you
Uh-huh.
know? So there are a lot of parents out there that unfortunately are very rude and disrespectful, not only to the coaches, to the program, but even to the kids. And it's really sad. Don't be that parent, please.
Yeah, like why are you picking on a little kid for? You know what I'm saying? That disrespectful in itself. So, you
Good
know,
question though, but yes, ma'am. Yes, it does. You please, you be surprised. You
yeah.
will be surprised.
Okay, and when you make it up this, so you know went through your whole, youth camp and all that stuff. You're in high school now. You're like pushing towards, your junior senior year. What would be some good tips to give that the parents of these kids that are, looking at that next level as a real true option?
Um, to be frankly honest, you have to you the schools don't do much. Okay, you as a parent have that responsibility to take your kid to that next level. So if you are, like, for me, my son, we had to find scholarships on our own. We had to do visits on our own. We had to do all kinds of things on our own. So do not rely on your school to do that for you. You have to do your own research. Um, all of the coaches and all of the recruiters are on Twitter.
Okay.
So start building an online portfolio for your child. Start networking with other coaches through Twitter. Start putting up your highlights. Start filling out those scholarship papers. Start making those visits soon, to colleges. Make sure that you are on top of your athlete, because the schools are not going to do that. I feel like a lot of parents tend to believe that the school is going to help you get that scholarship, that the school is going to bring that coach or that recruiter. They're not.
Hmm.
They're not. And even if they are, you happen to be in a very special place if they do. I think ultimately it's up to the parent and it's up to the athlete's responsibility for them to go to that next level and to get, that type of exposure.
Hmm.
Because the schools unfortunately don't do it. There's also your AAU coaches. So obviously, if you're going to go to that level, or if you are that type of elite player,
Hmm.
whatever trainer or organization or program that you belong to, chances are they are well connected sometimes to some of the top recruiters or top athletes or top people that can help you, but it's all
Mhm.
about networking. And it doesn't, and I would start your freshman year, you know, just
Mhm.
in case, start building that online presence, that portfolio, start putting up your highlights, start doing all of that, those things that it takes, because if you wait till the last minute, it's just going to be overwhelming and confusing. I think that if you do it from the very beginning, and that's something that we didn't do, you will have better results and have more opportunities at maybe more scholarships.
Nice. So, what position does your boy play?
My baby boy plays corner. Yes,
Quarterback.
corner for Fullerton. Yes. I mean, yes, he's
He's a big
amazing.
Darius Slay fan, right?
Huh?
He's a big Darius Slay fan, right?
I suppose. Yes, that's so funny. But yeah, no, he's great. Um, but he's very committed and dedicated to his workouts as well. So I think that if you have that special athlete and you see their level of commitment and development, then you're on the right path.
And
But
which age?
obviously, one thing I have to say is all athletes have to make sure they get good grades, because you could
Mhm.
be the best athlete in the world, and if you don't got those grades, nothing's going to happen for you. So you got to be just as good academically as you are in your sports.
And what age did you say you think that is? Like where that parent can go, okay, I can stop just being a cheer rah rah parent, and now I'm like my guy got talent, like my guy or girl got talent. I need to go into that full press mode, or we're gonna get her somewhere. Or
Um, so eighth grade, seventh and eighth grade, I think, that's gonna be your one grade where you know for sure if your child has that ability to play at high school level and then move forward.
Mhm.
I think anything below that is still kind of iffy. But I think that if you have an athlete that continues to play through junior high and they develop the skills and the discipline. I mean, it's not even just skills. There's a lot of discipline, commitment that goes into this. You basically have no life. You're at school or at practice or a game.
Mhm.
And those are the things that you give up as an athlete. So if you
Mhm.
feel like your child has all of those things, then by all means, I would say eighth grade, freshman year.
And what do you think about? Do you think they should stick to one sport, or you think being playing multiple sports is a good thing for your kid? You know what I'm saying? Do you push that aspect of it where you want the kid all throughout the year playing some type of sport, and that'll actually help them out with the sport that they're playing?
Um, so I'm a strong believer that playing multiple sports is a great thing. Any physical therapist or any doctor would tell you that it's not good to play a sport year round, because you need to give your muscles a break. Those
Mhm.
particular muscles that you work out, for that particular sport, if you play them year round, you're never giving them a time to break. So a time to heal or recover from any injuries. So I believe that playing multiple sports is a huge asset to kids, because it develops different, like, softball or baseball, eye and hand coordination,
Mhm.
football, agility, speed work, footwork. I mean, every sport can easily translate into the other by, in some way or another. So I
Mhm.
believe strongly in kids playing multiple sports. And that's another thing, is like, you never know where your kid is going to excel at. So you can't just
Mhm.
put them in one sport. You want to try different sports, especially when they're little. When they're
Mhm.
young and they're starting, don't just focus. I know there's dads football, football, football. Put them in baseball. That's gonna build a lot of hand and eye coordination. Put
Mhm.
them in basketball. I think the best sport to put your any kid in is soccer.
Yeah.
That's for the running, for the endurance, for the footwork, for the just all of that,
Everything. Agility, smart,
everything. Yeah. So,
technique.
mhm. So
Yeah.
it's just every girl that I have ever coached that has played I'm sorry, soccer in the past. I mean, they can run circles around all those other girls, because that court is nothing to them.
Yeah.
So I believe strongly in playing multiple sports with kids. Just keeps them out of trouble, works out different muscles in the body. And it's just good for different development. They get to meet different friends, they get to do different organizations, they meet different coaches, different styles. I mean, the benefits of sports are just ridiculous.
Mhm.
They're so amazing. So I think that all kids should play, or at least try to play more than one sport.
And how early? If
Oh
you're
my
talking
God,
2 years
I have
old,
5-year-olds playing
you're
on my
talking
team.
3 year old, 2 year olds early, or you're talking about like get them around 5, let them get
So
used to running around the house
have
first.
I currently have 5 and 6-year-olds on my little team.
Mm,
But to be honest, you can even start them as young as 4. Like T-ball starts as young as 4. You got Pee Wee football as young
mhm,
as 5. Basketball as young as 5.
mhm.
Um, it's you got to put your kids out. You never, don't give them an option. I think parents do this and it's so wrong. Like, Timmy, do you want to play football?
Yeah,
Like, no, sign him up. Sign him up for a
yeah.
season. Sign up Timmy for a season. Let him see if he likes it or not. Because he's gonna be like, no, I don't want to play football. I'm gonna, and then he gets
I'm
out
playing
there and he loves it.
Xbox.
And
I'm
he
gonna play
loves it.
Fortnite.
Yes. But then they get out there and they love it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't give them the option. Sign them up for a season, be committed, be dedicated, and you'll know within that time frame if you want your kid to continue in that particular sport or not. And he'll or she will tell you, yes or no, you know?
Yeah,
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 but
I like
no,
that.
no such thing. Start them young. The younger, the better. But at the end of the day, it's never too late to start.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I fully understand what you're talking about with the whole. I think we have really hit a generation where it's more asking. Like my dad used to tell me, "I'm not your friend, I'm your dad." So it's like you're gonna do what I say, and, and so get them out there, get them encouraged, get them started, on these sports, sign them up. Well, hey, guess what you're doing this weekend? We're going to take you to basketball practice or football practice, and then let them react afterwards. Like you said, after they play a season, you'll know for sure if they liked it or not. If it's a drag to take them to practice every single time they have to go, you obviously know that's something they might not be into. But as long as they're in there trying, it's a great way, to meet new people, be more social, understand the structure. What I'm saying, commitment, like you said, commitment, and be able to, build some kind of a solid base for a person or a little kid, where they can know they have teammates, they have friends, whether you're at the most popular guy at school or not, at least you have your team to be there for you.
Absolutely. You're right. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, well, man, this is good. What else would you have to say? Any other advice? Because I am going to nitpick you for a little bit about some Cowboy news, but we can go ahead and talk about whatever we got to finish talking about here.
Oh, it's so funny. Basically, I would say if I can leave you with anything, is this: don't talk to your kids about the game after the game. Okay?
Ooh,
It is, I see it so much. I think that as adults, we're so competitive in our nature. And if you see a little kid and they just had a game, our very first question goes, did you win? You know, did you guys
true.
win? How did you do? How did you win? You know,
Yeah.
and I hate that with a passion, especially in youth sports. You know, um, don't talk about the game in the car. Especially if they had a bad game.
Mm,
Especially if they had a bad game. Let it off. Your kid already knows he had a bad game. He doesn't need to
mm,
hear that from you. Okay? Um, you kids parents want to live through their kids, and
mm.
especially male parents, athletes, they feel, well, I have the skills, I have this, my son's going to be the same thing,
Facts.
and no, they're not, and kids
Something like
develop
it.
how
I said something like it. Something like
some
it.
like it, oh, that's my son, he's gonna be an athlete, the next MJ. Y'all watch out. Here comes the kid. He can't even like run with his, without falling. So it's like,
Hey, that's a
um,
good example because Michael Jordan kid wasn't that great at basketball either.
exactly. And I think that we kill their confidence,
Mm-hmm.
after a game. If they lost, there's no need to talk about it. Just your kid is probably already upset anyways,
Yeah.
especially if he cares about it. And one thing you can is, how do you feel you did today? You know, what do you think you could have done better? For any negative comment you're going to make to your kid, make sure you give them at least 5 compliments on what they did right. Constructive criticism. You have no idea how many times I walk out of a facility, when I'm walking into a facility and there's kids walking out and there's parents talking to their kids about how they did at the game, and parents constantly compare their kids to other kids. And some kids are way better athletes than others. And all kids learn at different times, at different ages. There'll be a time it'll just snap on a kid and be like, oh my God, and it'll click. But I think that the biggest thing is, don't discourage your kids. Don't talk about the games after the game. Don't, as an adult, if you have a niece or a nephew or another kid, well, did you win? Like, who cares? How do you feel you did? How do you like your team? What do you think you can improve on? What do you want to work on next? How do you think you can do better? Oh my God, that other team was really good. I bet you they work really hard. They put a lot of time. Don't badmouth your coach in front of the kids. Don't badmouth the organization. Don't badmouth other kids. I think as adults, we forget about those things a lot and we just start to talk. And kids listen, and all you're doing is you're shutting your kid down. All you're doing is you're making him not want to play the sport. And most of all, you are upsetting your kid because they feel like they are not living up to your expectations and they don't want to disappoint their parents. So if I could just, by all means, share something with you today is, after a game, just encourage your baby, give them a pat on the back. Just, if it was a tough game, let them be, but don't start grilling them. Don't start talking about what they could have
Line
done
up.
better, what they
It's
did
time to take some
different.
laps. I
Exactly.
want you to
Don't
shoot
do
100
that.
free throws tonight since you missed the game winner tonight.
Don't do that. Once again, parents ruin sports for kids.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man. Great stuff. I definitely agree with all that stuff. Yeah, sometimes parents can be a little overbearing, with the whole situations. They want you obviously want your kid to be a winner. You always want your kid to be on the best team. You don't want your kid to be the best player. But sometimes you just gotta realize that it takes time, it takes development, and it takes hard work before they get to that level. It's not to say that they're not there. They can't ever get there. They just might not be there now. Just keep on pushing and keep supporting them, give them that love, and they get to that area where they need to get to.
Absolutely. You are right about that.
Okay, well, before we get out of here, we're almost up at an hour. I wanted to talk to you about your boys. Say, did you watch the game this year? How'd you feel about the season?
Oh my God. Hello. That's the best season we've had in God knows how long. Like, geez, it was like the best season we've had. What can we say about our boys? I mean, like, we're on the right path. I mean, obviously, I have my opinions about our coaching, but I mean, other than that, I feel like we're on the right track. I feel like we're gonna be okay. Our I feel like because we're America's team, our expectations are so high, and but I think we had a great season. I think that, that excuse me, that 49ers game really hurt,
Yeah.
a lot. I happened to be there at that game. I have
Woo.
never in my life been so emotional at a
Hey,
sporting event.
everybody in that stadium was crying.
Huh?
I said I watched the highlights. Everybody in that stadium was crying that day.
Oh my God. It was, why? Because we were robbed. We were cheated. The refs,
What? That was
it
Dak's
was just
fault.
horrible.
Dak should
No,
have
no. I mean,
gave the ball to the referee instead
Oh,
of giving the ball to the center.
oh, it
He
was,
messed that one up. I'm
uh,
not giving you the pass on the ref's fault. Your dad should understand the rules of football, man. I think it's more just you guys been what now? That's 27 years now.
oh,
It's been 27. You guys no paper champs, but y'all ain't winning no championship. The Eagles, we just won recently, and we working our way back there. But did you hear about what's his name? Amari Cooper. They said they're
yeah.
gonna release him. How do you feel about that?
Um, Big mistake, by all means. big mistake. We definitely love Amari here in the city. I think he's done great. Hopefully they'll be able to replace him with somebody that could be just as good and dominant in that particular. I don't know why we went in that direction. Could
Mhm.
have, we could have gone rid of a couple of other players, but just it is what it is. Hopefully we'll get somebody, just as good to be able to replace him. But I'm excited for the next season for sure. I mean, we're gonna hopefully we learn from this. You know, we learn
Well,
from this.
well, our division, no one wins back to back division championships. So, the Eagles probably gonna win it again next year. So you got to be in second, make the playoffs or whatnot. But we definitely gonna be in that number one seed this next year. How do
Okay,
you
well,
like Dak? Are you a Dak fan?
oh my God.
Because right
So
now Cowboy Nation is split. You know, you got half of them think Dak's a dude, half of them thinks Dak's not the dude. But it's kind of like that here in Philly too. Half of them are Team Hurts, half of them are not. Well, how do you feel about Dak?
so I'm from Los Angeles originally. So I grew up
Me too.
watching the
LA.
LA Raiders, play. The
Bo
Coliseum.
Jackson.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was an LA Raiders fan, and then obviously they moved around. Uh, so when I came to Texas, Tony Romo, everybody, he was the quarterback, and I wasn't a fan. I was not a fan. I mean, and it didn't. It took for Zeke and Dak to come to Dallas to kind of start that new hype. So,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, I've been a Cowboys fan for maybe about 6 years now. And I
Mm-hmm.
will forever be a Cowboys fan now. I would
Are you
say,
sure?
uh-huh.
So we got
I
Eagle
love Dak.
applications. We got
I
Eagle applications.
have.
I said we got Eagle applications. We can always add another Eagle to
Another,
the
no,
nest.
no, no. They stole my heart. They stole my heart. First of all, Dak is a very good looking young man, so that is eye candy all day. But when you look at Dak and you look at what he's been through, in his personal life, and to still come back and rise above all of the negative. He is phenomenal. I think that he has a long way to go. You know, I think that where he's at is great. I feel like he needs to learn how to play better under pressure. But I feel like the it's there. It's there. He's got what it takes to be a Hall of Famer. He's got what it takes to get our Cowboys to the next level. I wouldn't change him for the world. And I think that he is a great representation of the program and I just think he's fantastic. I think that obviously we put so much pressure on our quarterbacks,
Yes, we do.
but yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, like the numbers don't lie. So if you can
Ooh.
sit here and you can talk about him all you want, but if you look at his stats, they're right up there. So the numbers don't lie at all. So you can be mad all you want and you can hate all you want, but those numbers, are reflective of what kind of a player he is.
Do you think Zeke's done?
You know, Zeke is not the player he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's trying a little too hard to continue to be that player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think he's got a couple years left in him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That we could still see a little bit more. His heart is in the right place, and he's driven and committed and dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as he stays healthy, I think that he's gonna be all right for a couple more seasons.
And then finally, how'd you like Micah Parsons? Mika Parsons.
Oh my God, that is my boy. Oh my God, what a great athlete, right? Like this young man came out of nowhere. I got to go watch the Cowboys practice at the start, prior to the season. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, my God, like his level of training is bar none compared to other players.
Mm-hmm.
He's hungry, he's driven, he's motivated. I mean, like he is exciting. Like I'm really excited for him. Um, I think he's going to be a beast. I think
Yeah.
he's only going to get better. I mean, he wants it. Like that hunger, that drive, that commitment, that dedication, that just fearlessness that he has is
Mhm.
fantastic. So I am so excited about him. He is I was I'm like, I need to go get me a Michael Pearson's jersey. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I adore him. I think he's great. So I am excited to watch him grow and evolve for sure.
Have you watched
Yeah,
any
we need to
of
get a kicker. Can we just get
a
a kicker,
kicker?
please? Like that's can we just get a kicker? Like I think I can kick better than
Oh,
like it is.
dual sport
Oh my
here.
God, our special
Cowboys
teams
call
is
her up. Kobe B's
working.
ready to kick for you.
My God,
Have you ever kicked a football?
I don't know. I would probably do better. I don't know.
Have you ever thought about playing women's football? Yeah, I
Oh
know
my
this.
God, yes, yes, absolutely. Um, I'm a little older now, but
Hey,
like
we're
I would
young. We're
if
young.
I was younger, yes. I actually want to do with my program a girls flag football league.
Ooh.
So that is something that we've been working on. It's really hard to get the parents committed into that because it's such a physical sport, and the double of commitment and dedication is a little harder and different, and there's more to it. But I actually had a co-ed flag football team. They were only 6 and 7 years old, and let me tell you, the girls outran the boys all day long.
What?
Yes, the girls outran them. So I would love, love, love to have something like that in my program. But yeah, football is beautiful.
It
Like
is.
I love basketball. I am a basketball fanatic. Like I love basketball. But football, oh my God, there's something about football that just gets in your soul.
Gladiator stuff right there.
It is amazing. I love football. Like football has completely stolen my heart. I hate that it's not. I hate that I gotta wait till September for a game.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm ready for football season again. So yeah.
Well, don't worry. It's gonna be the same type of season for you guys as it always is. It looks good. It sounds good. But at the end of the day, it's about the Eagles. Did you
I'm
watch an
gonna be
Eagles
nice.
game?
I'm gonna be
How,
nice
do
because
you have
you're
a
the
Do you have a
host.
take on Jalen Hurts?
Um,
He's from Texas.
Overrated.
Wow. Wow.
I
She
don't know
came
why.
captain.
Overrated. Overrated. I mean, it's like he's not consistent. I don't know. I don't know.
Go ahead. Come with it. Bring the
I don't
smoke.
know.
Bring the smoke. I can take it. I can take
I
it.
just not consistent, overrated, but I mean, but has the potential to be great. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when he's on, you know. But
Mhm.
when he fucks up, oof, watch out.
It's his first year starting.
Yeah, that is true. That is
Yeah.
true. He's come a
It's
long way, and he's.
development. Development.
I know, you're right, but he's at the pro level, so our expectations are a little higher.
Yeah, I know
He's
Philly
getting
fans
paid.
hate him. They're like, Trey Hurts. Trey Hurts. I have to come on these live streams every day to convince them that you guys are making a mistake with Jalen Hurts. He's going to be that dude, and he's going to light it up next year. So
He is. He
I get
is.
it. I get it. I get it. What about Devontae Smith? He's,
He's right.
he's all right. You think he's better than CD?
He's right. He ain't Dak. He ain't Dak. He ain't Dak for sure.
Give me a way too early Cowboys record prediction for next year.
Okay, so what do we go? 12-5 this year?
Yeah.
Um, holy shit! I would say I would. Oh man! Wow. Okay, I would say 14-3.
Wow. You almost made me choke on live TV. What are you trying to do? Kill me?
Oh my god! Watch. I'm claiming it now. I'm claiming it.
Whoa, what is
Why? Because
16
there's
Cowboys
17
like?
games in the season, right? How many?
17.
Yeah, 17. I'm gonna go 14-3.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I went there. I went
Wow.
there.
No Amari. No Gallup. Maybe no Cedric Wilson.
Give
Agent,
me a prediction on
Agent
your record.
Zeke.
What are the Eagles gonna be?
We're going to obviously be 17-0 to proven otherwise.
Okay. Okay. Let's see who gets
Right?
a little closer to that match.
Right, Gene? 17-0.
Okay,
Let's see you in the
14 and
chat,
3 is
Gene.
more realistic. So yeah, go ahead, take your 17 and 0.
Yeah, there it is, right
And then
there.
they're gonna lose in
17
the
and 2.
first round. They're gonna go be gone. Like
Oh man, it's been fun. It's been a
yes.
lot fun. But let everybody know where they can find your program and you add on all your social media platforms. You know, I know I got the Facebook inside the description, but where else can these guys find you at?
I do have a website. It's not as updated as I would like it to be. So our primary social media, I would say, is Facebook. So Rebel Nation Sports on Facebook. That's where you can find us. And support the kiddos and get your kids out there. Get them in sports, get them ready, get them out there. The benefits of sports are tremendous. Weight management, leadership skills, teamwork, relationship building, responsibility. There's so much that comes with it. So by all means, get your kids active, get them out there, get them involved in sports. It's just a great benefit for everybody. You have fun as a parent watching your kiddos out there. You won't have this time back with them. So by all means, enjoy every second of it.
And if you are in Texas, make sure you go connect with Coach B and her organization, man. They're doing great things. I hope we can get some film or something down on the network with your kids. You know what I'm saying? I know we talked about a little bit something like that. We're gonna see what we can do with a little bit of work in there. Let's get these kids out there. Let's get them seen by everybody on the YouTube community. But hey, great show again. Like I said, hey, if you have not liked this video, go ahead and like it, share it, then subscribe if you have not subscribed to BG and Sports Media. If you have not subscribed to BGN Entertainment, or if you have not subscribed to BIRDGANG 31, subscribe to all those platforms. Links are in the chat. Much love to you, and
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
thank you again. Thank you again. We definitely gonna do some more work together, girl. And fly, Eagles,
Let's go,
fly.
Cowboys!